All right, it's just about 7 o'clock. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. We're going to be live streaming the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net on a frequency of 446.125, sorry, 443.075 on the ZOE repeater here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Our net controller tonight, VA3IUK, Bill from Dundas. Please stand by.
All right. Good evening, all amateurs. This is Victor Echo 3 India Uniform Kilowatt, Bill, and I'm located in Dundas, Ontario, and I'm your host this evening for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. This net meets 5 times weekly, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on this repeater at 7 p.m. and Thursdays on a simplex frequency of 446.125. And I'd like to thank Mac, VA3IMW, for streaming over YouTube. And please remember when checking in to hit the like button. And when checking in, mobile stations do receive priority. Whether you're pedestrian mobile or you're on your motorcycle, your mule, or in your car, you get priority. So with that, let's stand by and see if there are any priority stations or quick one and done check-ins. Come now. Okay, I see Mac has checked in on YouTube. I'm sure that we're going to get some more as the net progresses along. But at this point, let's stand by for anyone who would like to check into Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Come now. VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf. VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf, VA3IUK. Good evening. How you doing?
Happy everybody, VA3WPG, doing alright here, just getting some chores done around the place, listening to the net in the background. Not much going on here, no radio today, just dropping in a quick one, but waited to hear if there was any mobiles out there ahead of time. As I say, that's all I got. With that, I'll just be listening here in the background. VA3WPG.
Yeah, okay, Chris. Yeah, well, the bands are a bit of a zoo today, except for 17 and 12. It was busy, and I don't think conditions were as good as they were yesterday, but still made about 14 parts today, so we were quite happy with that. Had other stuff to do, so I wasn't on the radio all day long or anything like that. So, anyways, thanks for taking the time to check in, and have a good evening.
You do. Have a good one.
Okay, I also see that VA3FMB, Jordan Wayne, has checked in, so good evening to you also, Wayne. Thanks a lot for checking in. So let's stand by and see if there's anyone else from Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Come now.
VA3 DCF. VE3 FMN.
VA3IMW.
Okay, all right, 3 gentlemen there. Well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll start with Dave. VA3 DCS, VA3IUK. Good evening.
Bill, good evening there, Bill, and everybody else listening and checking in on YouTube. Yeah, beautiful day today. I got cut out in the rain walking the dogs, so it was probably the only time it did rain, and got a little bit soaked. So, but other than that, yeah, beautiful day.
Yeah, Roger, to that. I could have gone out and done an activation. It never really rained that hard, but I didn't. But I'm thinking in the morning or not. But yeah, good on walking the dog. And I don't know, do you notice that I notice sometimes if it's raining or just after a rain, that the dogs seem to do a lot more sniffing. I don't know if you notice that, but I've sort of observed that with the two dogs here, that when they go just after a rain or it's raining, they like to sniff a lot more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, these two guys, or girl and guy, they do a lot of sniffing, especially when the snow starts to disappear, as it has done. And yeah, it was like, okay, come on, dogs, it's raining. And no, sorry, we got to sniff some more.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah, I just thought maybe it was me, but these two dogs here, they were crazy during the snow. I'm telling you, the one dog, she would just bury her head right in it and try to. It was like she was trying to dig for gold.
Yes, mine do that as well, especially. The older girl, she loves burying her face in the snow. She'll just get it right down in there, and then she'll come up and her face will be all white, and it's like, okay, let's go. No, I got some more. And then they start rubbing their face, like just kind of dragging it through the snow. You know, they'll rub it in there like they're trying to do a good wash.
Yeah, these ones do that, and the one dog, she gets on her back and. It's like she's trying to make snow angels, but she can't quite do it.
Yeah, they do have their characteristics. I know. Yeah, the male dog, the younger one, he'll do a lot of sniffing, but when he walks, he's like, you know, I mainly have to trot behind him. This one here, she's normally behind, doing all the sniffing, and I'm out ahead, and. She just takes her time. She's in no rush, especially if it's pissing down rain.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing creatures. Yeah, anyways, that was just my observation. I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one, so I appreciate that, Dave, and appreciate you checking.
Very good. I will let you pick up the others, and I'll be listening along, and I'll do a YouTube check-in here if I can get my phone working.
Sounds good. Don't forget the like button. All right, with that, let's see what Matt was up to today. VE3SMN, VE3IUK, good evening.
Good evening, Bill. Good evening, everyone on net. What was I up to today? A lot of shopping. And at one point, Bill, earlier on, you were talking to someone on ZLE here, and you mentioned that I don't think I'm going to go out today because it looks like it's going to rain. I don't know if you heard me or not. I was in Dundas. We were at a greenhouse, and it wasn't a minute after you said that the skies opened up and it just started pouring down.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't go out today, because, as you know, I don't drive, so if I go into a park, I'm either busing it or walking it. So I thought I'd wait till tomorrow, which looks more like a sure thing, and maybe go out in the afternoon and do an activation here. I'm a short walk to a park that is on the Charlie Alpha 5082, the trail, so may go over there tomorrow.
Sounds like a good plan. It's a good thing you didn't go out today. VE3SMN, I'll be here listening for a little while, and I'll let you carry on with the net, Bill.
Yep, you bet. Thanks a lot for checking in, Matt. And shopping, that's a necessity, but that can hurt as well, especially the pocketbook. Anyway, thanks a lot for checking in. And with that, let's see what Mac was up to today. VA3IMW, VA3IUK, good evening.
Good evening, Bill, and all on net. Yeah, beautiful day today. I didn't step foot out the door. However, I did look at the weather, and I looked at the radar forecast, and I thought, you know, if I left right now, I would have exactly an hour and 45 minutes to do an activation and get packed up and get out of Dodge before the rain came down. But I went back for a second cup of coffee, and those plans just kind of fizzled. So, the truck needed a car wash. So thank you very much, Mother Nature. I hope she didn't forget the spot-free reds. I'm not sure whether tomorrow is going to be quite as warm, but um, possibly it'll be drier. So have yourself a good time at the park. Managed to work a few stations. Actually, didn't get to the radio until a little after 6 o'clock. It was a very leisurely day, and I kind of pride myself on Saturdays to accomplish nothing, have no goals in mind, and it certainly feels like enjoying the weekend. Anyways, a couple of contacts on CW and another guy on phone down in the Midwestern states. So other than that, yeah, bands were busy. Obviously, the contesters are out there in full scale. They've got 40 and 20 meters pretty much plugged. Um, Anybody who was following along with the live stream last night, I had 15 meters up on the scope, and there was a lot of activity there on the scope as well. So contesters, and it's the international thing. So if you were hoping to add some countries to your QRZ log, it might have been a good opportunity. But other than that, I think we'll be glad once the whole system settles down and we can get back to normal amateur radio communications.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. And even 17 and 12, I thought there'd be a lot more porta parks on there posted, but there didn't seem to be. So maybe a lot of these porta guys are contesting as well. I don't know. But I do know there was just a lot of general QSOs going on 17, 12, so maybe there just wasn't enough room for folks to squeeze in there and, call CQ porta. But I did manage 14 parks today, and I was happy. You'll be good, glad to hear this back, because I lament about the West Coast. I was able to get Arizona and Utah on 17 meters, so I was quite happy about that.
And that's just a stone's throw from Washington State and Oregon. So, yeah, your signal will get there, no doubt. An ounce of confidence and a little pressure on the PTT. It all works.
Yeah, it does. And I didn't think I would even get a dozen parts today, being that it was so busy. But what I did find was actually, believe it or not, I got about 10 of the 14 parks I got were actually on 40 meters. Just sort of mid to late afternoon.
Kind of makes sense. I think 40 meters was not as busy because usually when it's an international contest, they're going for the longer distance bands. So 20 and 15 is likely the targets, with a little bit of activity on 10 meters as well. I don't think 10 was as open as it was yesterday afternoon, but I'm sure there was still some high power stations out there that were collecting contacts globally. Anyways, good on you. Keep up the good work. The numbers are rolling up day by day.
Yeah, roger to that. Yeah, well, I even noticed that 20 wasn't as good as it was yesterday, because usually I do, can, get into Florida and Texas on 20 was not too much of an issue, and today it was rough. Of course, mind you, that's not a fair assessment because of all the other activity that was going on. Anyway, Mac, thanks so much for checking in. And just before I do move on, just to put a bug in folks here in case there's new ones listening, just give a quick plug in for our Support Your Parks weekend.
Okay, yeah. Third weekend of April is Support Your Parks weekend for Parks on the Air. And our Hamilton HPO activators group is going to be doing their group activation in the same weekend. We still have to solidify a location and which day. So that's either April 17th or 18th. And right now, the park in the lead is Valens Conservation Area. So looking forward to any additional feedback on the preferred date or alternate parks for selection. So we'll be ears wide open for any feedback we got from anybody else who wants to participate.
Very good, Mac. And closer to the date, maybe we'll luck. And as people get an idea of their schedules, we can narrow down whether it's Saturday or Sunday. But to me, it looks like it'll probably be that one.
That's all the word we hear right now. So unless anybody else comes up with alternate park locations, then we're pretty much a democracy, and we can certainly be flexible and pliable in our decision-making process. And sad thing is, there's no hot dog stand across the road.
Darn. Okay, well, we'll have to see if we can, I don't know what's in that area. I'll have to maybe research it and see if there's a possible place where we can maybe go after.
Or maybe Albert can bring the mobile kitchen, drag the trailer up there, and he can feed us, I don't know, something wonderfully tasty and heartwarming. But who knows?
There you go. Anyways, I'm sure we can work something out. Well, thank you very much for that, Mac. And anything else before I move on?
No, just me and Porky Pig. Go ahead.
Okay. Sounds good. I'd like to acknowledge that Mark Mann, MHV, and Chuck, CJs that have also checked in. Maybe we'll get RF check-ins for both those stations. So with that, let's stand by and see if there's anyone else who would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
VA3BT.
VA3 LBI. VA3MHV. Albert, maybe your ears were burning. How did your day go? I know that your Saturday got tied up, unfortunately. VA3BT, V3IUK.
It sucked. Was stuck in a first aid course all day from 8 till 4, so there goes my Saturday. Other than that, I'm just glad that's over and done with. We passed with flying colors. Yay! How exciting. Anyways, it is what it is. So yeah, we didn't do much radio here. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but I've got a busy day tomorrow, so who knows. Anyways, we'll hand it back over to you there, Bill. VA3BT.
And so can you set my collarbone if I break it?
Sure, not a problem.
Actually, the reason I mentioned that was years ago, I worked as a camp counselor up north, and we used to take the campers on canoe trips, so we had to learn advanced first aid, and one of the things that they showed us was how to set a collarbone if it breaks. I don't know if I'd want to do it in real though.
Yeah, no, here it's just your first aid and defibrillators, how to use that, and choking and cuts and wounds and broken bones and, all that good stuff. It's usually a 2-day course, but this is a refresher, so it's just a 1 day every 3 years.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess in your line of work, knowing that first aid, and I'm sure what you take is probably like advanced first aid, but very important.
Yeah, no, for sure. We just got, all our trailers are now equipped with defibrillators now. Hopefully we don't have to use them, but they're there when we need them.
Yeah, yep. Back when I was a camp counselor many eons ago, we didn't have portable defibrillators like that. We learned the old chest compression routine, which, believe it or not, I had the opportunity to have to use at one time many years ago.
Yeah, well, we had to do all that too, chest compressions, 30 and 2. They make you do it over and over and over, and I mean, holy Jesus, it beats the crap out of you.
Oh yeah. Adrenaline. And when you have to do it for real, though, I can tell you, the adrenaline starts pumping.
Yeah, no, that's what they say for sure. Yeah, you go through everything. Your snake bites and poison ivy, poison. If you end up drinking the wrong stuff, it's just pretty much whatever is required in the first aid.
Yeah, well, it's good to have, just not for the occupation. It's just good to have for everyday life. You just never know. Anyways, appreciate you checking, Albert. Sorry you had to tie up your Saturday with that, but you still got tomorrow to relax.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Anyways, we'll let you pick up some more there, and we'll be listening along, VA3BT.
Okay, thanks a lot for checking in. And Larry, V3LBI, V3IUK, good evening.
Good evening, Bill. Everybody on the net tonight. Pleasant day. I picked up the grandson this morning at about 11 o'clock. He stayed for lunch, and then the daughter and the son-in-law, they come in around about 2:30, I guess, and picked him up. So we had a pleasant day with him here today. We don't get to see him as much as we used to, as we don't pick him up from school anymore. So he's got his the daycare over there that's right close, and they kind of look after everything.
Yeah, very good. So what does he call you? Papa? Grandpa? What does he call you?
Grandpa. He calls me Grandpa, and the wife, he calls her Grandma. So, yeah, that's some of the terminology has passed. The Nana and Papa stuff don't seem to stick too much anymore.
Yeah, I was just curious, because it seems to be, can be a local thing as well. Different places. I know down in the States you hear them use Papa, Papao. It almost sounds like, so it can sort of be a local thing as well.
Well, Papa was always father. My dad was kind of funny. Before our daughter could speak, he would talk and stuff, and then he'd say, "Well, just as long as she doesn't call me Papa, what was the first words out of her mouth? Papa." And that's what she called him till the day he passed. But he was always a father figure, Papa.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I thought these days the first word out of a kid's mouth would be iPad.
Anyways, that's about it. So a pleasant day, like I say. Not too much was going on. Obviously, the radio frequencies are really busy, so I kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah, I got on, as I say, early this morning for about a half an hour, and then I had other stuff to do later on the afternoon. I got on, but yeah, it wasn't the usual port activity, but still managed 14 parts.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Bill. All right, I'll pass it back to you and see who else is in behind me there. VE3LBI.
Yep, sounds good, Larry. Thanks a lot for checking in. With that, we'll see what Mark was up to today. VA3IMW, V3IUK. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Bill, and all on net. Good on you for grabbing 14 parks today, Bill. That's 13 more than I got. So I did get on the air this afternoon, and yeah, it was wall-to-wall contesters. I couldn't hear very many parks, but I did grab one guy on 40 meters, so that was all right. Nice to see the mild weather. I concur with the dog sniffing thing there. My little guy was putting the brakes on quite a number of times as you go down the block. It's like the disappearing snow unearths all kinds of little deposits that stimulate their nostrils, eh? It's stop here, stop there. So nice to have the mild air, though, and it's a taste of things to come for us. That's about all I got, Bill. Thank you for doing it. I've been listening along and enjoying here, and I'll turn it back to you. VA3IUK, VA3MHB.
Yeah, Roger, that seems to be the consensus of the dogs, and yeah, I agree with you on the milder weather. When it was really cold there and taking the dogs out, it was like getting ready for deep sea diving.
Yeah, I have a term for that. You were talking about him doing the snow angels. When mine does it, I talk to him, and it's known as the roly-poly. He gets on his back. It's like to have a little bath in the snow. So they love it, and we love them. So anyway, thank you for doing it, Bill. I'll let you pick up some more VE3IUK, VA3MHB. Back to net.
You bet, Mark. Yeah, they bring a lot of joy into folks' lives, and it's good. And here we try to keep them busy too, so they don't get stressed. Anyway, let's see if there's anyone else that would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club. That come now.
VA3MSL. Just Bill. I'll turn it back to that. VA3MSL.
What's for dinner?
I think pizza. I think that's what she said.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. That's right up my alley.
Oh, well, you enjoy it, Al, and thanks for taking the time to check in. Anyone else for the Lake Ontario Radio Club? That come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu.
VA3CJZ, VA3IUK. Good evening, Chuck.
Hey, good evening, Bill, and all on net. Oh yeah, I got some great news. Today, I went and took a stroll down to YouTube University, and I found the exact information I was looking for. I was having a hard time getting cat control from my new radio into the AC logging software, and I found a video that explained everything, and I just copied what he did, and lo and behold, voila! Now, when I see a station on the band map, all I do is I click on that station, and my radio directly goes to that frequency, and so it's very, very helpful. But I only really was in the mood to get a couple of contacts today there. Dealing with my chronic back pain, there's been an issue lately there. My last procedure has worn off there, so. But anyways, did manage to get out for a walk before the rain started. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the back pain. That's something I've never had to deal with. Of course, I've had to deal with other things, but yeah, I can imagine how that hurts, because I remember last year, last March, I think it was, I was out walking the dog and I hit a patch of black ice and I landed flat on my back, and I was all my lower back was sore for about a month, so I can imagine what you go through.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but I went for an MRI I don't know, over a week ago, maybe two, and I have this program called My Chart, and it's hooked up with Hamilton Health Sciences. And so anyways, the MRI results I was able to look at myself and see what the guy who looked at it said. But unfortunately, I'm not a doctor. But next thing you know, they've got me scheduled in for a nerve test this coming Friday. So that was pretty quick. So I can't wait to see what happens there.
Well, that's pretty good, because I would thought, after a MRI like that, you'd be waiting at least a month. So good on you. Maybe they've found something that's going to give you relief. Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, of course, my back surgeon is probably going to receive a copy. But this guy is my new back surgeon, so he hasn't worked on me yet. The other guy I had retired from that field, and he's doing something else in medicine now. And so this guy probably is really looking forward to seeing the MRI results. That way he'll know what to do. But again, I have to wait for that nerve test also to get finished. So I'm hoping they find something they can work on, because in 2014 was the last MRI I had. So I'm due.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're all pulling for you, and let's hope that something positive comes from that, Chuck.
Yeah, I just hope the poking and prodding with the nerve, I don't know what equipment they're using, but they didn't say that they were going to break the skin, so I don't know. But yeah, want to get that done with, and I'm looking forward to getting an appointment soon, because, let's see, it's already been 4.5 months, and I'm supposed to get this done, my back done, once every 6 months, so I'm going to be cutting it close.
Well, that's good. At least your new doctor seems to be on the ball with it, so that is promising. Anyways, Chuck, thanks so much for checking in. Anything else before we move on?
No. yeah, the contest, I guess, is going to go until tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And, oh, yeah, I have a clock in my bedroom that I haven't changed since the last time change. So now that means as of tomorrow morning, I won't have to change that clock. It's one of those plug in the walls there. So I'm all set.
Yeah, and you know what I referred to tonight as? I've actually got a term for it. It's called robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, I've been waiting 6 months for this. So now, instead of in the middle of the night looking up at my clock going, oh yeah, take an hour off from that, because I had it set for an hour ahead, so I'll be good.
Yeah, very good, Chuck. Yep, very good. Well, you know what? It's the longer days are going to be better. It's so much better for people. People's moods get better. I tend to find that during the spring, summer, and early fall months, I actually tend to need less sleep than I do during the winter.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, eh? All right, Bill, thanks so much for doing the net, and I'll be listening. VA3CJZ.
Yeah, take care, Chuck, and thanks for taking the time to check in. Anyone else for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net? Come now.
VE3, Edward King John.
See, I knew if we stretched the net out that you would get a chance to check in. So, good evening, Bill. How are you?
Old, but that's better than the alternative.
Yeah, I know. When I was a little kid, my grandfather, because my name was Bill, he'd always go, Old Will Bill from Bunker Hill. Never worked and never will.
Oh, that sounds more like an Irishism than an Englishism.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the origin of that one. I'll have to look it up and see if I can figure it out. But I just remember that's what he used to say to me.
Well, on my mother's side, they're East Coasters, and my friends and I, when we were kids, we used to deliberately start pushing my mom's buttons until she finally lose it, and she'd start swearing in Nova Scotian. We'd just fall all over the place laughing, and then she'd have to laugh too.
You little boogers, you know, just mischievous little kids, eh? Oh well, I'm sure every kid has a story about that.
Yeah, but East Coaster mothers, I think they're more colorful because the background is heavy Irish and Scottish, and those two nationalities seem to be the most colorful at times with their expressions.
Oh yeah. It's like in Ireland, the use of the F-bomb seems to be, ubiquitous with the Irish.
Oh yeah. Although the Nova Scotians, they didn't use that particular F word. They substituted frig, and that was their universal substitute, I guess. But even then, it was a little bit frowned on, and you could get a smack across the back of the head as a kid if you used such a word. But even the minister, when he came to visit, he'd be using that word. So as kids, we couldn't figure out why we couldn't. But they had a custom down home too that I always found a little strange. But they were poor down there. The average income was always very, very low. But almost every house would have a parlor. And the parlor would have the best furniture. And, after plastic was invented, all the cushions would be covered in the plastic, everything else. And the room was never used. The only time anybody used the parlor was a funeral service, or when the minister came for Sunday supper the first time.
After that, he had to sit in the kitchen like everybody else.
Oh yeah, seems to be. I remember that practice in my family as well. So yeah, I do remember that.
But it forever colored my tastes in food and such. I'll always be a meat and potatoes guy. And even now since my wife has passed and I'm batching it, cooking just for myself, that's the only place in Canada where I ran into what they called a muction, which is really just a Hamburg stew done in a big cast iron frying pan. And you'd have your potatoes and your turnip and everything else in with the Hamburg, all done up, like I say, in one frying pan. But I don't know where the word muction came from. It could have been from Gaelic, or it could have been from Micmac Indians there. I don't know, but, I've never heard it anywhere else.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if you were to research, you'd find that. And each culture has that. It's like the Newfoundland people with what they call their jigs dinner. So, but the mushing that you described, that's something I ate as a kid. So I do remember that meal being prepared. I can't remember what we called it, but I do remember eating it.
Well, the British Isles influence, that would account for it. Yeah, there's an awful lot of history. Now, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if most of it's gone. My mom, she'll be 94 this year. That's amazing. And I'll be 74. But a couple of years ago, women folk here in the family in Ontario took her back to Nova Scotia for a visit. She hadn't been there in years and years and years and years. Her hometown was Pictou, Nova Scotia, and which had a harbor, of course. It was right around where the eyeballs of the lobster would be. And she said when she got home, she told me that she hardly recognized the town. Everything is changed and modernized, and McDonald's on every corner, and I don't know. I think we've lost something.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I think of how old I am now and what I remember as a child that that the younger generations haven't experienced, and yeah, I would go along with that. Anyway, Bill, I will appreciate your check-in, and anything else before I move on?
Nope, I'll just sit here quite smug with myself because I actually checked in during the actual net time. As you know, I was going to join the Procrastinators Club, but I never got around to it.
Yep, and I'll take a line from a book. I'm impressed, and precious will impresses me these days.
There was a listing floated in on my Facebook page of all quotes from Groucho. He was an amazing man. But anyhow, I'll let you move on.
Yeah, oh, by the way, if you're a Groucho fan, look for a book called Raised Eyebrows. It's a very good read. You'll enjoy it.
I'll probably be impressed with the scandals.
Yeah, it's written by a guy that worked for Groucho for the last few years of his life, and it's just a really good book. I enjoyed reading it.
Thank you. Tonight, before I go to bed, I think I'll check on Amazon. Because if I wait till tomorrow, I'll forget.
Yep, well, if you like audiobooks, I have an audiobook format. Anyways, I better move on and see if there's anyone else who would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now. Okay, let's do a last call check-in for any rechecks, any comments before I close the net down. VA3IMW standing by. Okay, nothing hurts. I'd like to thank all you folks for checking in, and thanks for YouTube check-ins. I'm sure Mac appreciates it. Again, a gentle reminder, don't forget to smash that like button. So with that, I'd also like to thank VA3IQ Military for the use of the repeater. I'll say 7-3 to everybody. This is VA3IMW, Bill and Dundas, turning this repeater and related frequencies back to normal amateur use. 7-3 all, and I will be listening for a while.
That'll bring the live stream to a close as well. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the same thing all over again.
Well, Bill, if it warms up anymore, I'll have to be getting your radio back to you.
Yeah, pretty soon.